Great show today for you today. We got the Sultan, the man, the myth, the legend, White Chocolate. George Bruno, how you doing, George?
Doing good. Good to be here.
Also, we got the other man to the follow his left, Donovan, motherfucking Sharp, my man. Donovan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. And yes, motherfucker is my middle name.
Okay. All right. Okay, motherfucker. All right, this is being brought to you by, guys, Tactical Soap. Guys, make sure you get your Tactical Soap. Also, this is being brought to you by the Fraternity of Excellence. Join the online brotherhood of exceptional men. Also, Tate's War Room. And last but not least, guys, make sure you go the 21 convention, the Patriarch Edition, Orlando, Florida, April 30th to May 3rd. Donovan, you've got the floor, sir.
All right. So tonight we're going to talk about, I guess I'll put this in, I don't want to call it tricking versus investing, because those are black people terms, but I'm going to put this in terms that most people can probably understand. And this, of course, is the difference between attempting to buy a woman's affections and investing in her. Now, I'm going to put it to you like this, right? When men come to the manosphere and find the red pill, it's usually because of one of two reasons. It's either sexual frustration or heartbreak, or a combination of both. And if I seem a little subdued, I'm trying to come down off of a migraine headache here. Had a huge migraine hit, so just bear with me. The medicine's kicking in. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. Area code 678. I see you on the line. I'm going to come to you shortly. So, guys, they take the red pill. They digest the red pill. They start to put it into practice. They're a little better with women, so they're having a little bit more success. And at some point, they're all faced with a decision on whether or not to actually spend money on a female. Now, if you're here, you already know that you should never, ever spend money on a female if she doesn't deserve it, because red pill awareness teaches us that. When you arrange a meet with this girl or that, you take her out for drinks, you get her to the bar, you say, listen, you get the first round, I'll get the next. If you go to the movies, you buy the tickets, I'll get the snacks. You guys get the idea. But if things really start to get serious with a particular female, the math has the potential to sort of change a little bit. And women are well aware of this. Now, keep in mind, guys, there is a big difference in taking a female out to dinner on the first date, which is something you should never do in the first place, and taking her out to celebrate your six-month anniversary. There's a difference between giving your female your time in the beginning as opposed to giving her your time and attention 7 to 8 months into a relationship. Now, a lot of men get tripped up at this point, guys. And if women see that he's not sure how to handle the financial aspect of a relationship that could get serious, she will start to take advantage of him, whether she knows it or not. It's in her nature. Now, most women, we all know, willfully and wantonly take advantage of men financially, but that's for another day and time. It might not start out that way with her trying to take advantage of you. She might really like you, but if you show any ineptitude as far as recognizing the difference between investing in a woman and trying to buy her affections, she will eventually turn you into someone who's just a cash cow, just an ATM machine, meaning that you will have to pay for her affection, sexual favors, and ultimately her commitment, which you'll never really have because you bought it rather than making her earn it. So tonight we're going to talk about the differences between the two, and I'm going to have plenty of real world examples to really, really drive this point home. So George, I want to start with you. You are obviously a man. You've had many relationships with women. You're obviously very good with women. What are your thoughts on attempting to buy a woman's affections versus investing in her?
I think it all depends where a guy is in his lifetime. If you're looking for something a little more serious, you invest in things that you know you're going to, it's like renting versus buying a house.
Okay.
You don't want to put new carpet in a rental.
Right.
Because you're renting it, right?
Right.
You're not going to do home remodeling on a rental. You're going to remodel a home that you own.
Right.
Because it's an investment. You put money into it and you know you're going to get it back. And then any homeowner will tell you, what do they say? There's three things that you can put money into in a home and you'll always get your money back. A kitchen. When you upgrade the kitchen, you'll always get that money back.
That's right.
When you upgrade the bathrooms,
right, 2 for 2.
always get money back. And they say putting a deck on the back of the house is always a great investment.
Huh, okay.
What's a bad investment is like a swimming pool, because not every buyer will be interested in a swimming pool. And there will be people who, when it's time to buy the house, will say, I really like the house, but I'm just not into the pool.
Okay.
And, and a built-in swimming pool is not something you can just say, well, we're just going to ignore that. There's a big hole in the ground that needs a lot of maintenance and costs a lot of money. And if there's little kids, it could be dangerous and whatever. Anyways, yeah. So when it comes to investing, is it a long-term relationship? Is it a short-term relationship? That's the first thing I would look at. I don't put money into a rental. I put money into something that I own. I hate to use the real estate metaphor when describing a relationship, but it does make sense.
Yeah. Steve, listen, how do you follow that up? What are your thoughts?
Well, to me, when it comes to buying and investing, it's a point of either wasting your time or saving your time. To me, buying and investing is based on the man and how you really feel about yourself. Because when you buy into somebody, to me, that means you're buying into their narrative. That means that you are putting you're putting yourself in a position of taking crumbs from a woman, putting yourself in a position for a woman to say, I don't know, maybe I'll think about it, I'll get back to you. And you're waiting, like playing defense, waiting for her to agree and give you crumbs of saying, okay, you're allowed to see me. Whereas investing to me is she worth my time? Right. Is she worth my attention? Is she worth my respect? To me, an investment as far as relationship wise is putting your hammer in front of the woman and seeing if she can lift it. That's what, to me, as far as buying and investing. But it's really based on the man and how he feels. But the last thing I want to say, because a lot of guys come into this thing putting their emotions in this game, like I tell you, don't do. They go in buying because they don't know their self-worth. They don't know what they bring to the table. They just look at a body, breast,
right,
and all these things. So they buy into the woman's looks instead of investing in who they are and force her to buy on him or invest in him, sir.
Well said. We've got a caller on the line. If you guys want to get in on the show, 914-205-5356. Let's go to area code 678. Area code 678. You're on live with Donovan, Steve, and George. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, this is with Donovan. I want to apologize because I did share some. I talked about your girlfriend. I said that, like, Ifot Osunde, that's me. I want to apologize for talking about your girlfriend like that. I'm very sorry, Donovan.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Why would you even do that?
Yeah.
Why would you disrespect another man who don't even know his situation? Why would you do that?
I don't remember anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
that's all.
It's my mistake.
All right. Well,
cool. All right. I don't want to get off track there. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
What that guy was talking about. I don't know. Listen, if it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. So let's go ahead and get into some definitions here. And I'm going to give you guys my definition of attempting to buy a woman's affections versus investing in her. So here are my definitions, and I want to get you guys' takes on this. In the book of Donovan Sharp, investing is when a female earns your time and attention by doing what's necessary to earn your trust, right? That she takes care of you by cooking for you, performing other domestic duties, keeping you sexually satisfied, making an effort to look good for you, and representing you well in public, which is just a fancy way of saying she stays in pocket. Now you can start investing in her, right? She's made herself worth putting time, effort, and resources into her to improve her as your woman and hopefully further cultivate her qualities, which will in turn benefit you as a man. Now, on the other side of that, the tricking or the buying a woman's affections, this is spending money on or doing favors for a female who hasn't earned them or who hasn't done anything for you with the sole purpose of winning her over with said money, gifts, favors, etc. Okay. Now, a lot of guys want to know what the difference between tricking and investing is. And we'll talk about tricking versus providing. So quickly, George, what are your thoughts on my definition? Do you agree, disagree? Do you want to add, subtract?
Yeah. I mean, back when I was single and available, I would encounter women who would say they want a man who's generous.
Yes.
And I hate that word. I hate that word. And what they're doing is they're setting themselves up for a little trickery, if you ask me. They're not asking. A woman who is investment material does not say she wants a man who's generous.
Right.
That just doesn't happen.
Right.
So she set the stage for my behavior. As soon as I see that, I know exactly how I need to act.
Okay, Steve.
No, Donovan, I agree on what you're saying wholeheartedly. I believe that all those things you're saying are absolutely correct. But the one thing I would like to add to that, if I can, is that you've got to know you first. You know what I mean? You've got to know what you want. I mean, all those things that you're saying comes from a man that knows what he wants and a man that knows what he's not going to tolerate. So on that case, absolutely. But again, you and George, what separates you two is that y'all have no fear. You're not afraid of women. A lot of these guys are scared of women. So when they get a woman, they feel like they got to walk on eggshells so they don't lose her. But I don't want to go off top, but I'm just saying that I just want to add to what you're saying. But yeah, absolutely. I agree with you, sir.
Okay. So now I'm going to go into, I think we're all in accord there. Now, a lot of guys want to know the difference between, how can I put this? I guess I should, like, tricking is shorthanded.
Thirsty.
Tricking is shorthanded for attempting to buy a woman's affection, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people want to know, a lot of guys want to know, well, what's the difference between tricking and providing? This one is simple, and I want you to pay attention here. If a woman lives with you as your girlfriend or wife, and she's upholding her end of the bargain as your girlfriend or wife by taking care of you, giving you sex, keeping your place clean, being a good woman, etc., paying the bills and rewarding her for good behavior with gifts every now and again, that is providing. I'll give you a quick example. You guys know I live with Devin, right? And I regularly spend money on her. I pay for her to get her hair and nails done. I pay for her personal trainer. I take her out on nice dates. I take her on weekend getaways and so forth. And not one person in here is going to say, Donovan's out here tricking, because you guys know Devin holds it down as my girl, right?
Yep.
She cooks unbelievable meals. She takes good care of me. She gives me sex literally when, where, and how I want it, wearing whatever it is I tell her to wear. You guys see that too. Devin earns this treatment. This is a combination of investing and providing. Devin needed to get her hair done, so I provided that for her. The better she looks, the better she makes me look. So that's the investment side of it. Her looking good also keeps my sexual attraction to her. Taking her to a nice expensive dinner, that's also a combination of providing and investing. I'm providing a nice meal for her in return for the nice meal she provides for me. And she loves getting this treatment. So if she wants this kind of treatment to continue, she'll continue to do what she needs to do to earn it. So that nice dinner was a return on her investment. And if she wants to keep those returns coming, she'll keep investing in the way of meals, sex, good treatment, kindness, and so forth. George, what are your thoughts on this? And we'll get to Grovelite's $5 super chat question right after Bruno here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's a not to use these overused concepts of transactional and validational services, sex or whatever, but it is a two-way street. Yeah. It is a two-way street. That is the reality. Now, there's things that, if I'm driving somewhere and I get a flat tire and it's raining out, the reality is I'm getting out of the car. I'm going to change the tire. I'm not going to tell her to do it.
Of course.
I think based upon people's natural talents and gifts, I think our division of labor in the home really is according to our natural talents and gifts. For instance, my ex-wife couldn't cook. I wouldn't want her to cook for me. And I enjoy cooking. So a lot of times when you enjoy something, it's not a chore. If I asked her to cook, she, like, honest to God, she'd rather have her fingernails pulled out with a pair of pliers than to cook a meal.
Right.
Now, cleaning, she was great at cleaning. I cooked, she cleaned, she was immaculate with what she did. So I would imagine the division of labor in a household is different than two people who are not living together.
Yes.
There's people who are just dating. I think there's more temptation or probability that someone's going to get used if you're not living together, because all your secrets are out when you're living under the same roof with somebody. There's, they know your ugly side, they know your mean side, they know how, So I think there is a certain the best way I can put it, it's like a two-way street. I think both people have to do their part. And that's what makes a relationship good. I think if one person is doing all the work while the other person is just sitting back and enjoying all the perks of the relationship, somebody is bound eventually to feel ripped off and will do something about it.
I agree 100%. Unfortunately, here in 2019, 9.5 times out of 10, it's the man who's doing all of the work and the woman who's getting all of the benefits. Because women these days don't bring much to the table outside of the 3 holes that they can provide you with for 3 minutes of pleasure, right? And men, and again, looks and vagina and sex, that is a depreciating asset. Every second that ticks by, every minute that ticks by, a woman's physical worth gets lower and lower and lower, yet men pay higher and higher prices literally just to be in the company of these people. Steve, what are your thoughts on because you've been married for over 20 years, right?
Right. We talking about tricking or providing?
No, we're not talking about tricking yet. We're talking about providing versus investing, right?
Providing. Yes.
So you're a man who's been married for 22 years or for I think over 20 years, right?
Yeah.
So you clearly understand the concept of providing for your wife and children, right? And then also investing in your wife or your wife and children.
Right.
Talk to me about how that works in a marriage with a wife and kids.
Well, it doesn't. It also works in relationships. It's just different levels. Well, remember, I always try to teach guys a relationship is different from living together. That's different from engagement. That is also different from marriage. So they're all different levels. But when you get to the top level, as far as marriage goes, it's all about your legacy and your bloodline. It's all about it's all about these are things that a lot of men don't think about discussing with women before they even get engaged. Politics, discipline, college, Christmas, Halloween, holidays and things like that. These are the things that we got to find out and things that you need to know. That is she worth my last name, my ring, and my bloodline? So it gets a little bit deeper there. See the investment as far as the lining in which you go to marriage is when you move a woman in. That's what I always tell guys. I don't ask me for a dime. Don't ask me for anything. I expect you to take care of your own bills. When we get engaged, that's when we sit down. I got to look at the books. I need to know your credit score. I need to know your debt that you have accumulated. I need to know how much money you're bringing in. I need to know where you're spending your money, because I'm not going to marry into debt. I'm not going to marry in anything bad. I want someone who is responsible. The key word is responsible financially as well, but that's on one end, but also respectful, because I don't believe in love. As I always tell guys, I'm not into love. I'm into falling into respect. That love stuff, I could be for those women in that soap.
Don't fall in love with me. Fall into submissive. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Exactly. No, listen, this is not a thing where, I'm man, you're woman type thing. No, you get the benefits of a man when you know your line and your place in this whole thing. And don't try to be something that you're not. And don't try to make me something that you want me to be. You're going to accept me for what I am. And we're going to ride together. We can have conversations, but there are no arguments. There's no raising your voice. There's no throwing things, and there's damn near no disrespect, because as soon as the day you feel that you can do that is the day that you're going to be gone.
Excellent. Big thanks goes out to Grovelite12 with the $5 super chat. He says, women who want a generous man have sugar daddies and or looking for beta bucks. At 24, I realized that in order to invest, I must learn the trade. Listen, real talk. Absolutely, man. If you want to learn to invest, you absolutely have to learn the trade.
What is a beta buck?
Say what?
I don't know that the weird term. What is a beta buck?
Oh, that a trick.
What is a
tricking beta bucks? Okay, like they're like it's alpha fucks beta bucks, alpha seed beta need. Basically, it's the guy who pays for everything but never gets to sleep with her. That's literally what it is.
Well, it's a cupcake, a grass eating lion.
There it is, grass eating lion cupcake. See, Steve, you got your own glossary over here, man. You're confusing the people. Actually, you're not confusing anybody. People should know exactly what it is when they say get your crayons out. So.
Right? Yeah. I mean.
Okay. All right, we got a few phone calls on the line. Let us go to area code 347. Area code 347, you're on live with the red line. Go ahead. For everything but never. Sir, I can barely hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Hey, how's everything? Donovan, how's everything? What's his name? Manning Seth and old man Bruno. I have shit.
Well, first, before you have anything, you need to have a little respect.
Yeah, I had to let him go. You don't call anybody.
You can see how weak he is. You see how soft he is by his voice. I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
No. Listen. I know his voice is a little up, but you don't call somebody old man Bruno, dude. George. Oh my God.
George has more pinky finger.
Listen, man, George has been dumped by more women than that guy has. Fuck, man.
No, that's what I'm saying. And here's the thing I want to say, young man, you're going to get old one day, but the difference between you and George can still peel women. You will never. I'm sorry, Donovan. Please continue.
We gotta make sure we hold the line. Let's go so we're over to one phone call so far. Let's hope that area code 520 can bail us out here.
Hey, I'm sorry. Am I online?
You are online.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate you taking my call, Don. I'm honored to speak with all three of you gentlemen on here at once.
Good.
I do want to ask, because I've taken your course before, Don, like I spoke, and I'm wondering, like, when do you feel like it's okay to be able to cry in front of your wife? I've been married for 4 years, but I just want to know, when is it
never
an okay thing for me to cry in front of my wife?
You know what? Honestly, check this out. The only time, and I mean the only time, where it is okay to cry in front of your woman is if your mother or your father dies. That's it.
What?
Those are the only two exceptions. And even then, you better keep it to about 30 seconds, because I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you. You may very well have a legitimate reason to have a legitimate reason to cry in front of a woman. But what you have to understand is that women are governed by their emotions. They're allergic to reason, right? So if, let's say, you go into your room and you cry for 2 hours, and some people might say, well, his mother just died. He's crying for 2 hours. His mom just died. That's his mom. And a woman may very well say that out loud, and she might really want to believe that. But deep down inside, she's thinking, okay, I understand that it was his mother, but you're supposed to be a man.
Right.
Like, I'll give you a half a minute. I'll give you a couple of minutes to kind of, grieve it out. But after a while, man, like women have to know that they can rely on you. And if you're crying for 2 hours, she can't count on you at that point. And crying is so much more than crying. Crying is being vulnerable. It's showing weakness. It's showing emotional vulnerability and emotional weakness. It's okay to show a snippet of it if a close loved one dies, but you better bottle it up and listen, if you need to drive off to a country road somewhere and bawl your eyes up for a few hours, no problem. Just make sure she's not there to hear it. Steve, what are your thoughts?
Why does he want to cry? I'm asking, why does he want to cry? Why are you asking that question, sir? Why do you want to cry in front of your woman?
Well, it's not that I want to cry. I'm just saying, like, if she catch me in a moment that I can't help it.
Yeah, don't let her. No, I'm medicated
a lot, so I'm sorry.
You gotta help it, man. You gotta help it, dude.
Like Donovan said, if you feel like you want to cry, pull on the side of the road, get all that out the thing. snap your fingers back and wake up. I mean, I always tell guys, always watch a show called Power.
Oh, good example. Good example.
And if you notice the top guy in Power, he hurts. And no one's saying a man is not going to hurt. No one's saying a man's not going to feel pain.
That's right.
But if you look at Ghost in these situations when he's got to make man decisions, he's feeling pain, but he does it away from everybody. He looks down, he takes a deep breath, shakes it off, eyes forward, and moves on. But I'm just saying for me, you don't want to do that in front of a woman. I want my woman to see me as the Rock.
That's right.
I mean, if I'm going to cry, I'll do it on my own time if I ever do that. I mean, I think the last time I cried is when I got hit by Dexter Manley in an NFC championship in '83. So, no, I'm serious. I shed a tear. I mean, I love Danny White.
Yeah,
but no, I'm just saying, the last time that I shed a tear was not for a woman, but I shed a tear for sports. But I'm just sorry. What George, what say you, sir?
Yeah, I say women don't want to. Women want a rock. They don't want to be the rock.
Right.
And someone asked me, someone did a documentary on masculinity over the summer for their senior film project. And they said, when is it allowable for a man to cry? And I said something similar to you, Donovan. I said, birth and death.
Right.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
When my kids were born, I couldn't help it. I mean, I was just like, whoa. Look at that. A baby just came out of that, like it just like blew my mind. And, and then it was happy tears. It wasn't grieving tears. So, and I think there's a big difference with that. When it comes to grief, I always tell men, don't deny your emotions, delay them, have a place where you can, like you said, if you have to drive out in the countryside and cry, lock yourself in a room, stick your face in a pillow, that's fine. Mm-hmm. Have a finite grieving time. Do not have this free-floating grief throughout the day where you just walk around sad all the time. Literally, if your cry time, this sounds like girl talk, but this is real for men who've experienced some loss or something. Yeah. Cry on your way home from work in the car, right before you pull in the driveway. Wipe those tears, suck that stomach in, and be the man when you walk in the door.
That's exactly right.
Good.
I agree. Yeah. I agree 100%. And George and Steve, you guys both said the same thing. But I'm gonna say the same thing in a different way. Women need to be able to rely on you. Okay, we're the bigger, stronger sex, so they know that they can rely on you physically, right? Women also need to be able to rely on you emotionally. They need to be able to rely on you mentally. If at any time you appear to be weaker than them mentally, then she can't count on you mentally. She can't count on you emotionally. And if you're a guy who gets too emotional around your woman, she's going to lose a little bit of that respect. Just like Steve said, right. No one is saying that you shouldn't cry. No one, because dude, I've cried before. I have felt pain many, many times, right? But I'm not going to let Devin see me cry. Are you kidding me? No way. Right? That's just how it is. If you want your woman to be able to rely on that masculinity, you have to do the masculine thing. Not telling you not to cry, but the old saying goes, never let them see a sweat. With your woman, never, ever let them see you cry. Yeah. Let's go to the next phone call here. Area code 612. You're on Live with Donovan, and you go ahead. Or I'm sorry, Live with Donovan, Steve, and George. I'm used to doing solo shows, guys. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing today?
Doing good. Speak up a little bit. You know what? Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on the call. I just saw your show live from the 21 studio, and I was like, I'm interested in this title because I'm 27. I'm from Minnesota, and I live in Texas now. And it's crazy. The brother on the top right screen, I forgot his name. I'm new to this Steve. Right now. So he was speaking about before you marry someone, know the person. Wow. I was 25 when I married my first wife, and it's crazy, but I'm the fresh divorce. We met each other online, and I wanted to speak on it because Hopefully someone's out there hearing this that doesn't make the same mistake like I did, because it really made a big impact in my life. Because, and to be honest, I've never been in love, but this wasn't something for me. I was rushing either in lust or loneliness. And I wanted to speak on that and let you guys hear it. So I want to know your thoughts on it, because it was only for 4 months we talked online. She was in Miami, Florida, with her grandmother. She's originally from New Jersey. And I went out there to meet her. I thought she was a good woman based on what she described. Everything we talked on the phone for the 4 months, FaceTime, everything. Found out that I really thought this girl was really ready in the time frame I was there visiting Miami, Florida. I was wrong. I made a mistake. I actually proposed to her, and I thought this was right for me on some fairy tale thinking, right? Fast forward 7 months later, she left the marriage, called me when she was in New Jersey, cheated on me. She was trying to make me move to New Jersey with her family there because she didn't want to live in Texas no more. And I said that wouldn't be a good idea because it's too expensive.
Caller, listen, I don't want to be real quick. I don't want to be rude here, but did you have we have other callers, right? So did you have a general question, or do you just want to do a testimony, or?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess I would say testimony, because I think for this,
okay,
I just wanted to talk on that for a moment. Just, the brother was speaking about the worth of a woman before you marry him. Like,
gotcha.
I didn't know she had $100,000 in debt.
Right.
Yeah. So like that kind of stuff. Like, well, yeah.
Well, okay. Well,
yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay. Well, all I'm saying to you guys is this, and I'm sure George says in his way and Donovan says in his way. Before you do anything, you've got to know you and what you want and what you're going to stand for and what you're not going to stand for. And just because they smile in your face for a few months doesn't mean she's wife worthy. She's got to be time worthy, attention worthy, respect worthy. And that's just to get her foot in the door. Then she's got to be, what is a relationship to me worthy? What is a girlfriend to me worthy? What is living to me worthy? What is engaged to me worthy? And what is marriage worthy? Every phase is different. But what most guys do, unfortunately, like you did, is you leapfrog from just meeting her straight to marriage without a sense of self. And this is unfortunately what happens to a lot of people, Donovan and George.
Yeah, I have something in common with this guy in that I got married at 25 as well. I married a girl that I worked with. I started a job at this meatpacking facility, and area code 214-713 and 678. We're going to get to you shortly. I dated her for a year. We actually lived together for a little bit, and I decided to propose to her. Now, we were married for 7 years, but again, this is if I knew then what I knew now. My ex-wife was not worth marrying. I thought she was, because she was sleeping with me and she was pretty and this and that and the third. But what it comes down to is, and it's interesting. I think it really comes down to scarcity. I think a lot of guys who get married early are guys who haven't had sex with a lot of women, right? Because the reason why young guys get married to young, hot girls is because they want to have access to that young, hot girl all the time. But I think this is why I personally, and I want to get your thoughts on this, George. My rule of thumb for guys generally is, never get married. Don't get legally married. But if you must, I would say before you settle down, before you start thinking about, let's just call it a long-term relationship, I use the rule of 35 and 35. You need to be at least 35 years old and slept with at least 35 women. Because at that point, you've got age and experience. You understand. You really understand yourself a lot better, and you also know females. Number one, number two, you're a little more seasoned, right? Like you've got that abundance. Okay, I've slept with 35 different women, so now girl number 36 and up, what can she offer me besides sex? And that I think when a man starts to ask himself, and the girl indirectly, what can you offer me besides sex? That's when you begin to weed out, the would-be sluts who will turn your life upside down. What are your thoughts, George?
Yeah, I would like to add to that the like what I call the 2-year rule, seeing people through 2 years of birthdays, holidays, seasons, and so forth.
Like that,
because you just never know what someone's going to be like in the various. Do they get depressed in the wintertime? Is it going to be hell living with them from November to March? Do you? I can't stress this enough that you need to travel with a prospective mate. Because if you can't travel well together, you are not going to live well together. I always believe start out taking day trips, then weekend trips, then go on vacation for a week, visit each other's families. But you need to spend time with each other in hotel rooms, on planes, and, and experience the full range of that person. Because if you're just working so hard to provide and impress, it's obvious that, I mean, it's easy to stick around if you are doing nothing but providing and being on your best behavior. But what's going to happen when you get fired? What if she just loves you because you have a great job? What's going to happen when you get fired? Or lose your job, or get downsized, or the company moves out of state or something like that? Is she going to stay with you, while you're collecting unemployment? Is she going to stay with you through some of the tough times? Or is she going to just, make demands and just demand to be the queen the whole time? I think you need to have your own personal experience in life with women, with relationships, and with the person in question. I always like the idea of 2 years before you get married legally, civilly.
Private marriage.
I am not a huge fan anymore of legal marriages. I like civil marriages, ceremonies with friends and that kind of thing.
You guys who don't know what George is talking about, a civil marriage is everything that is involved with a marriage without the contractual obligations to the woman in the state. That's what a civil union is.
Yeah, I mean, when you go to divorce court, like in Pennsylvania where I am, it's called no fault divorce, which means that if someone cheats on somebody, back in the old days, the person who did the cheating, basically the judge would side against them, and they would get less. Now, because it's a no fault state, the judge doesn't care who cheated on who screwed each other, who screwed whoever. It's the same thing with in Pennsylvania employment. Pennsylvania is called an at-will state, which means that you can quit anytime you want with no obligation, and they can fire you. They can unload you whenever they want
for whatever.
And with no legal recourse. I think marriages need to be at-will marriages. In other words, if you don't want to be here, there's the door. Simple as that. Because I don't want you here if you don't want to be here. You're not going to make my life miserable just because you're unhappy, or you want the next toy or a better car or something like that. I believe that marriage, this is all I expect out of my future mate. I want consideration. That's what I want. I want consideration.
Right.
I don't want anyone to claim legal rights to anything. Therefore, I will not go to the county courthouse and get a marriage certificate and register, blah, blah, blah. Those days are over with for me. It would be foolish if I did it. I like the idea of a civil ceremony without the legal contraction. But here's the thing. A lot of people say, well, if you're not willing to truly get married or really get married, then is it really marriage? And I'm thinking, well, yeah, it is. Because what we know as a legal marriage has only been around for about 150 years.
Yeah, not very long, man.
Before, a man would take a wife by, slaying another man and dragging her into his cave.
And putting babies in her, right?
Exactly. So I'm not real big on the legal thing anymore. To me, it doesn't make sense. When I look at the damage that can be done, I like the idea of an at-will marriage. We will be here together as long as we both want to be here. And the day that we don't want to be here under the same roof is the day that we just kind of shake hands and split, especially for people who've had traumatic and chaotic breakups and divorces. Like, who the hell wants to go through that shit again? Like, nobody wants to lose half their stuff. Nobody wants to lose. And you know what? People say, well, yeah, when she divorces you, she'll take half your stuff. It's not so much the stuff that you should be worried about, but it's your mind,
right?
Your heart, because men go into a tailspin after a divorce. Women are just like, it seems like they can just reboot the next week. And, and I'm not putting men down, but from my work with men take a long time to recover from this stuff, a long time. So the best way to prevent that is to never get into it in the first place.
Okay, good stuff. Yeah, the guy who I'm assuming this is the guy who called in, Sosa Osunde. He said this is his second account. He said he wants to apologize about what he said about Devin. I think he asked if she shaves down low or something to that effect. I can't remember what it was exactly. I think that's it. If that's it, fine. If not, I don't remember. Listen, fine, whatever. I'll unblock you. It is what it is. I'm not really too worried.
Yeah, Donovan, real quick on your 35. Well, someone made a good point. I just want to post it. It can't just be 35 bottom of the barrel, low hanging fruit women. It's got to be classical women, theater women that have lives, women that have 401k plans, women that have things going for themselves. It's not just a woman that works at Burger King, McDonald's, or Walmart as the 35.
Oh, you know what? I don't think they have to. I don't think they have to have 401. And when I'm talking about when I'm talking about 35 women, I am talking about strictly for the purposes of sex. The reason why I say 35 years old and have slept with 35 women is so that sex becomes less important. So that sex, it's almost like, I think a lot of guys get married early because they haven't had that much sex. And by getting married, they think that they can have as much sex if they want. Well, if you have sex with at least 35 women before you think about a long-term relationship or a marriage, well, you won't get married for the sole purpose of just being able to have access to that one woman. Okay. I do agree with you that you shouldn't be, looking for low-hanging fruit. I mean, if you're just looking to increase your notch count, just something to do on the weekends, then yeah, go to bars, clubs, whatever the case may be. But yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't really thought of it that way. We actually have 5 callers on the line, guys. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I said, all right. No, go ahead. No, I was all right. That was all right.
All right. So let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to area code 678. You are on live with Donovan, Steve, and George. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good.
You doing good?
Yep, doing good. Okay. All right. I guess all right. I guess he hung up. Well, let's go to area code 214. Area code 214. You're on live with Donovan, Steve, and George. Go ahead.
Hey, Don, Steve, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, huge fan of y'all guys. I called in maybe a couple weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, just to tell y'all how much I appreciate y'all. Much love to the guests below, the OG homie at the below.
Yeah, he OG.
We call him white chocolate around.
I had a question for y'all guys.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, I'm in a marriage. I've been married for about 5 years. And basically, Don, I married what you would call an ugly duckling. And what I mean is, so I married a chick who had a banging body, good looking face, but she had these bifocals. In college, they used to even crack jokes on her called bifocals. But we end up getting married. And, I decided to, I made I played college ball back in college. I lost some weight. I was actually a bigger guy, but I started rebuilding myself, and my wife started going to the gym with me. And lo and behold, she got some new glasses. She started going to the gym. And it was like, damn, she lost like 30, 40, whole different looking women. And I found myself in the marriage 5 or 6 later. I love all the changes. She went from like a 7.5 to like a 9, but now it's like I'm starting to deal with the not that she's acting different, but it's like she is certain small things, not on a big scale, but certain small things are starting to change. And
how was her behavior changing?
And I just want to can be.
Listen, caller, you can be honest. You're talking to me.
I'll say more shit
This
test.
isn't like we're men.
More
Like,
shit test.
if she's out of pocket, just say
more
she's out
shit
of pocket.
test. I say more shit test. More demanding on some things, but just like it's like she was the ugly duckling. She wasn't beautiful before, but she found out, oh, I'm looking banging now. I'm married, but she still cooks, does all the things of a wife, but she is starting to act up a little bit more, I'll say.
Okay, yeah. I think this is the time where you got to put your foot down, my friend. Number one, she's your wife, right? You're in a committed relationship with her. Just because she looks better does not give her permission to start acting worse. Now, she shouldn't be acting out of pocket anyway. And Steve and I, we had this conversation last week. I don't give a damn if she's a 10 or a 2. You're not getting out of pocket on my watch. That's not going to happen. You got to stamp out. You have to stamp out that bad behavior. My advice to you is what you need to do from here is you need to take back control. Okay. If she starts to, the only person that should be demanding anything in this relationship is you, not her. You are a man. She is a woman. You lead. She follows. You dominate. She submits. That's how this goes. Women don't want to be the dominant figure in the relationship, no matter how much they say they want to be, because when they are, they go off looking for a more dominant man. So you need to get a hold of this before it gets too late. Steve, I see you shaking your head. What you got?
The thing that he does wrong, what a lot of y'all guys do, is stop lying and stop acting like you're the victim and stop pointing the finger at the woman like you're the woman. Why don't you own it and say it correctly? She's not acting out of pocket. You're allowing her to act out of pocket. This is what makes me laugh about you guys out here. Every time she yells at you, abuses you in some kind of way, it's always she's doing it to me like you're the victim. No, I keep telling you guys, when a woman realizes that your pussy is tighter than hers, she is going to push the envelope because she doesn't respect you as a man, because she knows she can get away with it because you're not doing anything about it, my man. The thing is that you've got to own the fact that are you the man in the house or a man of the house? Now, I'm about that in the Patreon. I can't go too deep in that, but you got to ask the question, because if you're you sound like a man that's in the house, which is you're just a body. You're not leading, like Donovan said, you're not leading her as a man. And I keep telling you guys, I've been with my woman for 20 some odd years. And if as soon as we get off this show and she does even an inch of what you say your woman's doing to you, she's gone. I'm not, you got to understand, everybody wants to be a lion until it's time to be a lion. And the problem is that you're using, okay, so what, she's got herself together. That's good. She should get herself together for you, like Donovan always says. Right. But her attitude is what you are allowing to happen in your castle. She's not doing anything that you're not allowing her to do. So y'all guys have got to stop playing the feminine victim and start bossing up, like Donovan said, and own it. You're allowing it.
Before I go to George, this guy Vinton Lindo says that made 0 sense, and he is laughing emoji as if he as if he understands what's going on. He said she's acting out of pocket. That's literally what dude just said. No, Vinto, no. Here's the problem, and again, you're just and listen, area code 214. We're just trying to punch in the chest. This is tough love. Your woman only does what you allow her to do, right? So area code 214 says, well, my wife looks better, so she's getting out of pocket. No, your wife is getting out of pocket because you are allowing her to, right? Doesn't matter what she looks like. Like I said before, whether she's a 10 or a 2, a woman only does what you allow her to do. Vinton, he says he's not missing the point at all. I'll tell you what, how about you miss this and get the fuck out of here?
Right.
I cannot stand it when people come in here and they think they know more than we do. So fuck off, right? Fuck off. Go back to your grass-eating lion, 250-pound girlfriend, and you can go fuck yourself since you know so goddamn much.
But yeah, I just want to say real quick, that shows that he doesn't have enough women.
He doesn't get it. No, but see, this is the thing. He literally, here's the thing. You said to him, it's not about the wife acting out. It's about him allowing the wife to act out. And dude was like, wait a minute, that's not what he said. He said that she was acting out. Dude completely missed the point. If you continue to argue about that, then I can't help you.
Thank you, Donovan.
1-4, I'll give you the last word, and then we'll go to George.
I definitely agree with you guys. You know, I'm not, you know, so I'm an athlete. I'm used to getting my ass chewed up if when need be. Yeah, I do agree, man. It's something that I need to look at. It hadn't been outrageous. It's just that, you know, like you said, I'm the king of the castle, so I'm gonna go ahead, handle up, and say, hey, I'm always the king of my house. But I did say I got lenient to some extent.
Okay.
When we got married,
listen,
as
you're
a
human.
lot of people do when they get in that relationship.
You're human. It's gonna happen, right? Like, I'm Donovan Sharp. I fail a shit test every once in a while, right? Like, it happens. Just, again, man back up, take control of your household, and she should fall back in line. George, before we go to the next caller, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, when I tell a guy to man up, that's not an insult. I just think that ramp up your masculinity, not macho, but masculinity. And I honestly believe that she is shit testing you somehow, some way. I always believe this, that first of all people are shit testing you at all times.
Of course.
And people are silently begging to be led.
Yes.
Amp up your leadership skills, because that's what she's begging for. Look at her peacocking, her showboating as a cry for your leadership.
Okay, very well said. And again, this is just like children. Children act out because they do not have guidance. Women are exactly the same way. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to area code 713. Area code 713, you're on Live with Donovan, George, and Steve. I almost said my name again, and you go ahead.
How are you gentlemen doing this evening?
Doing good, man.
All right, so I wanted to touch on a few things that I've heard you guys talk about tonight, and I did have a very pertinent question, maybe a few of them. But one is dealing with abandonment issues as a young man coming into your own and understanding how to deal with having a significant other or getting into a fruitful relationship, as well as that aha moment. You know, where's that focal point for that aha moment that turns it around? And that's personally for all three of you guys. Because you guys have been eloquently, discussing this, and I just find it immaculate. How do we as men, especially some of the younger guys, deal with psychological trauma? Because I know you guys talked about that earlier, and lack of sexual experience that comes from having that psychological trauma. And maybe getting with her getting with the program, because I feel for that last young man. I used to, once I was released or separated from the Marine Corps, the only thing I understood was getting with the program. And my DI used to always tell me, sprinkle some Acrite on it until you get the desired effect that you need.
Acrite, I love it.
And female egocentrism. Now, when I first met my wife, Jody never got me, thank God, but she was on the heavier side. She lost the weight, and but I never stopped treating her the same way. I never, got to the point where, oh, you done lost all this weight since we started exercising, since, I'm out, I'm on 90% disability. We can go vacations, do all this other stuff, and the personality hasn't changed. So at what point do you guys take all or accumulate all the knowledge that you've ascertained and then find a vehicle to start putting it into motion? That would be my question.
So if I'm understanding your question correctly, you're asking us, what is the vehicle that you use to sort of act on these red pill principles and live this red pill life, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, this is what you have to understand is that this is a constant process. It's a consistent process. Yes, there is an aha moment where it sort of clicks and you understand, I get it, and you start putting things into action, right? But red pill understanding and red pill application are two very different things. Red pill understanding can, that can have an aha moment, but red pill application, it never ends. It's happening all the time. The vehicle that you're looking for, other than your own life, is you. right? And Steve says this all the time. So many people mistook the red pill to mean, okay, this is about women and this and that and the other. Well, the only reason we think this way is because women are the reason why most men find the manosphere. Now, there are some men who don't find the manosphere, because of a woman, but most of us do. But a funny thing happens when you start to understand women for who and what they are. You start to understand that this really isn't about women. This is about you, right? So a lot of guys say, hey, well, how do I become better with women? Well, you have to get yourself together first. That would be my answer. George, what are your thoughts on his question? What is the vehicle that men, particularly young men, use to sort of self-actualize?
Clarify that question for me so I can better answer that, please.
Yeah, go ahead, caller.
Okay. So essentially, it's taking everything that you've talked about, egocentrism in women that have changed, personal mental issues that you deal with as far as maybe abandonment issues and dealing with psychological trauma and lack of sexual experiences, and then getting to understand where you should be at. Because yes, of course, there's the manosphere as a vehicle for you to utilize. But if somebody wanted to take baby steps, I mean absolute baby steps, at what point could they start to make these things applicable in their lives, to kind of turn the tides and change it into their favor?
Oh, wow. That's my fault, caller. I didn't thoroughly answer your question. I'll give George a chance to. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say the first place to start is to be more decisive. There's nothing more red-pilled than being a decisive man. A lot of people think red pill is just about your relationship with your woman. Being red-pilled is being decisive in every area of your life. You can't be strong in one area and weak in another area. I would seek to be strong in all the areas when it comes to things like taking care of yourself, paying bills, climbing the ladder at work, earning more money, exerting more leadership versus dominance. Women, some people say women want to be dominated. I think that term can be used interchangeably with leadership. Women want to be led. Some people would say women want to be dominated. I say they're probably the same thing. I think a good place to start is getting your own crap together. That's the first thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then you deciding things like where you're going to eat. You decide where you're going to go on vacation. And you need to tell her. You might need to literally just be sitting down with her and just say, honey, look at me. Look me in the eyes. Trust me. You need to trust me. Can I get a commitment from you that you're going to trust me? Her reaction right there is going to tell you what your future is going to be like.
Yep.
Oh, all right. So young man, you don't know me very well, but I'm one to punch y'all in the chest, because I like to keep these guys are absolutely right. I just want to add on to it.
Yes, he spelled.
When you're talking about abandonment, you need to get out of the game first, because if a man that feels abandonment is a man that's going to walk on eggshells, is a man that's going to fear, and a man that's going to take crumbs from a woman. That's number one. Number two, when it comes to vehicle, Donovan and George said it best. You have got to be the vehicle. Stop trying to fit outside of the box. Stop trying to fit in the box and be the box. And as far as sex, what you got to do is you got to learn. You got to learn from people. Okay, now this is very important, young man. There's two things that you got to learn here. Number one, you got to learn from people that teach you how to be romantic, sexual, sensual, smooth, dirty, naughty, kinky, and sexy, then show you how to spit what we call yak and feel good about yourself and have sexual confidence. The next thing you need to do, and this is what a lot of you guys do, you need to stop doing. You gotta cut off the cancerous YouTubers that you guys watch on a constant basis, that all they do is like women complain, whine, and bitch. You gotta cut that off. You gotta cut that umbilical cord off because it's an emotional thing that you are talking about. And I don't know if you watch YouTubers or read their books and all other stuff, but in order for you to grow, you got to be around individuals who have what you want that can show you receipts. This is what I can do, and these are my receipts. If you want to get out of the abandonment thing, you need to find someone that's going to punch you in your chest and tell you to get rid of those emotional, feminine feelings. And like George would say, man up, sir.
I'll have one last thing to add here before I let you go, caller. One thing that I always advise my guys to do when you first find the red pill, when you first understand, okay, I agree with the red pill, where do I start? The first thing I tell men to do is go into what I like to, or what is called in the manosphere as monk mode. Okay, stop chasing women and focus on yourself. Okay, deactivate all your social media, at least temporarily. Deactivate all your social media. Get off the grid. Tell your friends and family, hey, you can even tell them, hey, I'm going into monk mode. Stop hanging out with your friends. Stop playing video games. Stop jerking off the porn. Stop chasing women. Stop watching TV. Okay. You need to get off the grid. Okay. Do it. Go out into the woods. Do it at your house, whatever the case may be. You need to focus on your body and your mind. Okay. Read. Go to the gym. Read. Go to the gym. Now, again, keep it. And again, this is the red pill we're talking about. Every day, consume red pill content, whether it's a video or a publication, whatever the case may be. What you're doing, caller, is essentially hitting that reset button. And how long should you do monk mode? I would say no less than 90 days. So if you're looking for a vehicle to sort of start you on the right path after having just found the red pill, I would highly recommend monk mode. That's what I tell you.
Well, I would like to say something on the other side of the street. I don't want him to do monk mode on my end or my side, Donovan. Let me tell you why. Mm-hmm. He's not facing his fears. He's running away from them. You see, what a lot of guys understand is you can go monk mode and learn all you want to learn, but you'll never know what it's like when you get in front of the thing that you fear the most. And that's why I was saying, I see what you're saying, Donovan, but a lot of guys read books and watch all these YouTubers and say, oh, I'm a man, or I know how to pick up women and I'm good at getting women. And then as soon as they get in front of the thing that they're afraid of, Donovan, the thing that they fear the most, that it changes everything. So I would say not monk mode. I would say learn, but you still got to get out of your house, off the computer, away from the books, and go meet the things that you feel abandonment by, and that's women. The only way you're going to get over it is facing your fears. I mean, I'm just saying, on my side of the street, my brother.
No, I get it. It's almost like a training camp, right? Yeah. Area code 229, I'm going to get to you in just a second. If somebody challenges you, like Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz are going to fight tomorrow, right? They have to train for that fight, right? Andy Ruiz knocked out Anthony Joshua in the 7th round. Now, I'm not saying that Anthony Joshua was afraid of Andy Ruiz. That was a fluke of a fight. We're going to find out tomorrow night. But Anthony Joshua, let's just say that he was afraid. Well, he's not just going to jump right back into the ring with Andy Ruiz. No, he has to get his mind. And again, I actually got this from you. You have to know yourself before you can go out and get to know women. If you don't know yourself, you're always going to fail with women, men, et cetera, et cetera. Sorry to get long-winded there, guys.
No, you're good, brother.
Yeah. All right, let's go to area code 229. You're on live with the Redline group, or with the Redline. Go ahead.
Hello, gentlemen. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing good. How about you?
So what's up?
I'm doing great. Hey, Donovan, I just want to thank you and Steve and George for all the content that y'all are helping the young guys like me out. And I wasn't aware of the red pill until I started listening to Donovan and Steve. I just want to thank you all for continuing to doing a great job.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
I want to disagree with you right now. Don't think we want to think. No, I'm disagreeing with this guy because I want to say thank you, man. And let me tell you why. Because what Donovan and what George and myself do is we give y'all a hard pill to swallow, and it takes a real man to be honest with himself. So I'm just saying, from the three of us, we want to say thank you, man. We appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
White Patrice says Steve is right. Theory, YouTube, books, and endless bickering will not change your life and move the football down the field. No, you guys are misunderstanding what I'm saying. Okay, I want to say this one more time. When I say monk mode, you're essentially hitting the reset button. Eventually, you are going to go out and talk to girls and live life. But let's just say that you live it. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, you live in your mom's basement. You're overweight. You have no direction. You flunked out of community college. Your girlfriend just broke up with you. You go on. You find DonovanSharp.com. Oh my goodness. Oh, life is okay. Life is great. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna immediately start kicking life's ass. I'm gonna start talking to girls. No. Number one, you need to lose the weight. Number two, you need to get the fuck up out of your mom's basement, right? You guys have to listen. You have to crawl before you can walk. Now, I agree with you, okay? There is such a thing as red pill masturbation where all you do is read blogs and watch YouTube videos. No. You absolutely should never do that. But you don't get in the ring and you don't get in the ring to fight someone if you're not for that fight. You have to go to training camp. You have to learn to bob and weave. You have to come up with a game plan. Again, you don't want paralysis by analysis, but you don't just say, okay, I've read a couple of red pill blogs. I'm going to go out and put it into action right away. Then you call me up and say, Donovan, why am I not confident around women that I approach? I found the red pill 3 weeks ago. Well, how much do you weigh? Well, I'm 245 pounds. Well, there's your problem right there. I also live with my mother. There's problem number 2. I also jerk off to porn. There's problem number 3. All I'm saying as far as monk mode is concerned, hit the reset button. Girls aren't going anywhere. There are women turning 18 years old every second of every day. There are planes landing at McCarran Airport with a fresh new crop of girls that are single and ready to mingle and get trains run on them. Again, take it slow, right? Take it slow in the beginning. You have to know yourself. You have to learn yourself before you can get out and talk to women. Don't just get out there and start throwing haymakers with nilly-willy. You're going to get your ass knocked out. And I think Steve agrees with me. You have to have your shit together before you go and start doing anything, let alone talking to girls. So no, nobody's talking about endless bickering. What I'm talking about is monk mode. You get your mind right, you get your body right, you get your life right. That's how that works. Let us go to area code 818. Oh wow, they've been on hold for a while. Area code 818. You're on live at Donovan, and you go ahead.
Hey Donovan, recently subscribed to your channel. I've been literally binge watching your videos, and they've helped me a lot. I've been single for 3 years, and I've been MGTOW for 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
So listening, hearing the truth, and hearing you guys be completely honest, man to man, is literally helping me out in my life.
Good.
To wake up to the truth, to wake up to the reality of how it is and not how they portray it on TV, how they portray it on fairy tales, how you hear it every day, from your parents, basically the actual truth. And I would like to thank all of you for basically helping me out.
Good. Let me ask you a question, caller.
Waking myself up.
Let me ask you a question, caller. You said you went MGTOW, and of course you saw Steve. He got all crazy. Can you explain to me what you mean? Because I think that MGTOW and Red Pill are one and the same. I think they are literally the same thing. So when you say I went MGTOW, what is the difference between what you do and what I do?
Well, the difference between what I do and you do is, I think, for me, it's a learning experience. I'm still new. I'm literally new, basically, to the nature of women and to the nature of myself as a man.
Okay.
And to find out what it is to be a man, to what it is to be an alpha, to be masculine, not what I've been indoctrinated to.
Okay, so you and I are the same so far. I just want to know where, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot here, but I'm not understanding why you say I went MGTOW. Are you just saying that you saw the light you took? When you say you went MGTOW,
yeah, I saw the light. Yeah,
just saying that you have taken the red
pill? When I saw light, it was after, I guess my first breakup with, how they say, be best friends with her, have best friends. That's how you make a great marriage. And it turned out to be a whole lot of crap. I mean, we literally break up.
No, but I want to hold on. Answer my question, caller, because caller, quickly. I want you to answer my question because I really want to get to the bottom of this. When you say you went MGTOW, are you just saying I took the red pill? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I did. I took the red pill.
That's what I thought. Okay, very good. I just wanted to make sure. I don't know why the MGTOW community wants to call them like we are the same people. I hate to block out. No. Hold on. I hate to block out George's face, but here's the thing, Steve. You got to watch my scab video because there are a lot of men who call themselves MGTOWs that are not MGTOWs, and that's for another day and time.
Right. I just think that a lot of these guys need to just get all these words and names that y'all make up and stuff.
Totally agree.
I just think that y'all gotta just face the fact that it's either being in a cult or being your own community.
I agree.
Because I just all I want to say is again, I just feel like y'all have got to stop taking the stories of other people's lives and thinking it is your life. It is one thing to listen to somebody's life, but to follow that cult and to follow his jargon and all that other stuff is not a good and healthy thing as a single man that should be single-minded, because you're not living that person's life, but you're following that person's way, and you don't even know what he is. You don't know how soft he was in the relationship. You don't ever look back that deep. But I'm just saying that.
No, I understand, but I want you to understand that men who identify as MGTOWs, they're just like you and me. They're just people who call themselves MGTOWs who aren't really MGTOWs. Like, that's not who there are a lot of guys out here who are giving the MGTOW credo, like the MGTOW, they're giving it a bad name, but we'll get into that another day in time. Oh, no. Thanks goes out to Barry's Voice with the $50 super chat. He says, gentlemen, it is never masculine or alpha to be led by your emotions. Never make decisions based on feelings and emotions. Rollo Tomasi's book is called The Rational Male for a reason. Disengage femininity and fully engage masculinity. I agree with that 100%. And it's interesting because I can admit, like, I can be a very I don't want to call it emotionally charged person because I'm not really whiny like that, but I get very angry. Like, I'm emotionally immature at times. I let my temper sort of get the better of me. So I appreciate him donating the $50 super chat.
I appreciate that, but I'd like to say something on that. Because I'm one of the others. I appreciate what you're saying, but man, let me tell you, and I'm just telling you from a man mindset perspective, why isn't it rational man? It's rational. The word male is less than a man, number one. And the fact that y'all are reading this book, that's fine if you want to read this book. And Donovan loves it. I know this has nothing to do with Donovan or anything like that, or George.
What are you talking about?
Right. No, that's your boy. I'm just saying. I'm just speaking on my behalf, because what y'all's problem is, anybody can write a book, but can anybody help you navigate to meeting women, approaching women, learning about the big picture, being able to handle yourself instead of sitting around? Don't mention a book by somebody who done you. You got to look, and this is what I was saying before. I'm just going to get my soapbox. You got to look at receipts, man. The problem with a lot of y'all guys, y'all are blindly following people without looking at the person that's suckering y'all, man. Open your eyes from the cult. Male, I'm a man. I will never be no male because I don't think like a male or a rational male, because a rational male makes excuses, whines, and
complains. All right, I don't want to get into that.
Okay, I'm just saying that. Okay, I just want to speak my piece, but we good though. Whatever you want. All right, we good though.
Okay, so big thanks goes out to Aqua Dragon 88 with the $5 super chat. He says MGTOW and red pill men who avoid relationships and go with what society says. I think he meant to say they're men who avoid. Yes, we're both the same. But here's the thing. Sean Doherty says MGTOW is different for everyone. Remember, it is men going their own way. It is a rebuilding of oneself, and every man's path is different. That's the same thing. It's the same thing. I don't listen, man. I don't care what I call myself. Like, I don't care if I give myself a red pill label. MGTOW. Listen, it is what it is. We are one community. We all know and understand that men are supposed to be masculine, women are supposed to be feminine. Society tells us the opposite, and we are pushing against that. That's all there is to it. I can't really.
Yeah, but Donovan, men don't complain. Men don't whine. I'm not saying the ones you call MGTOW. I guess I've seen a lot of them. All they do is complain.
Those are the scabs of the world.
Okay, well, maybe they're scabs, but they all seem the same to me. Just complaining about women all the time.
Big thanks goes out to Sharin. Zeno says MGTOW and red pill are the same thing because MGTOW is the red pill. If you won't marry or cohabitate with a woman, then you are a MGTOW. And every time I say that, somebody was like, "Well, no, I know MGTOW men who are cohabitating," and I'm like, "Okay, I can't do it anymore." So it doesn't matter. MGTOW and whatever. We're all red pill aware men. Let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to area code 973. 973. You're on live with the Red Line, and you go ahead.
Hey, good evening, guys. Good evening.
What's up, man?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, good, good. So, Donovan, I mean, I was on your show earlier today. We talked a great deal, but you did say something that did resonate with me today, and you said something on the lines of divorce is an option. Now, I was in town today.
Wait, say that again. You mean divorce?
And I saw my.
Wait, you mean when the guy wrote it and said divorce is not an option for me?
Yeah, it was one of the guys that said, I forgot what he said, but then you said that divorce should be an option.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then one of my guys said today to me, he said, like, I saw this girl, I like her and all that stuff. And I said, and he said to me, I think I can't see myself living without her. And I said, are you sure about that?
He can't see himself
he said,
what?
Yeah, I said, you sure? I said, huh?
He can't see himself what?
He can't see himself without her. Like, that's what he said to me.
Oh, Jesus
Christ. And I said to myself, huh, why would he say? And I said to him, because I'm a Rastafarian, I just want to let you know that. And I said to him, the three little words that we always say, know thyself. That's the most powerful thing that a person can say to another person. And I didn't tell, I said, I stopped saying I love you a long time ago. And I said, and I keep on saying to people, I said, know thyself, because now, and as I listen to Donovan and as I listen to Steve, it's just like, it's basically, this whole red pill journey to me is a know thyself movement, basically, for me.
Yes.
I'm taking the pill every day. It's not an easy one, but like what Donovan said just like a couple minutes ago, just stop watching porn and get outside and stuff like that. Everyone says that. But you got to know yourself well enough to know that, am I really going to do this, or am I really just going to listen to Donovan, Steve, and Bruno, and then just click out and just do the same thing that I have been doing?
Sure.
And that's and the hardest thing that even I have been doing, like changing. It's that constant change that I've been doing. And I mean, I wish I can let you see that like this. It's a hard pill to swallow, but. I mean, the change is like, it's slow, but I see a lot of changes, and I want
to call. I don't want to let you drone on and on. We got other callers, and callers, try to keep it brief. If you have a question, please ask it. This is not a therapy line. This isn't, ask the question. We'll answer it. George, you haven't spoken in about a half an hour or so. What are your thoughts on a man understanding that I don't even know what the hell to call it. A man understanding that true masculinity isn't about women, but that it is really about himself. What are your thoughts on a man coming to this community and sort of figuring out about halfway through, wait a minute, you mean all I have to do is know who I am and be myself, and women, like Steve says, are a perk?
Yeah, like all great people have had times of solitude.
Right.
Every prophet has gone off into the wilderness and fasted and came back more powerful, MGTOW, if we view MGTOW like that, I like to say it's a nice place to visit, but you don't want to live there. Pitch a tent there, but don't build a house there.
Well, again, this is what I call monk mode. And I think that's what that is just getting off the grid and getting yourself together. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I think what usually prompts a man to do that is some kind of trauma, chaos, confusion, breakups, whatever, where they have to get their stuff together. They got to get their head together. And that's a good thing. Rather than just always, for lack of a better term, if we put as much time into building wealth as we have done in chasing pussy in our lifetime,
here we go.
I think we would do ourselves more of a favor, because I think if you build wealth, you're pretty much going to make your life easier. A lot of guys think they're going to make their life easier by having a woman. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. A woman will always complicate your life 10 times out of 10. You just have to be strong enough to deal with that. You're not gonna find a woman that's easy to get along with. They don't exist. And I'm not being misogynistic. What I'm saying is this, is that women and men are different. Having a woman in your life, in your house, is not like having a roommate, a buddy.
It is not
a college buddy. It's a whole different vibe. You know, a guy roommate, you know, a lot of guys will rent a house. I rented a house with 5 guys right out of college. We had a blast for a few years. It was fun. But not one of the other 4 guys ever said to me, "It's not what you say, it's how you say it." he never said that. No man ever said that to me.
Oh my God.
And, you know, it was basically getting in each other's face and ready to pound the shit out of each other, you know, and take it out the back door. And, you know, but eventually we got along and we're all friends to this day.
Okay.
Now, a woman is not like a dude roommate from college. A woman is not like that. She is going to say things that guys won't say. She is going to be a huge buzzkill at times. You're going to feel pumped. You had a good workout. You feel good. You feel positive, and then she hits you up with, "Can we talk?" Right. And when a woman says, "Can we talk?" what that really means is, you're going to shut up and I'm going to talk. That's what she means. Right. And let's get real about that. She's not saying she wants to have a two-way conversation. She wants you to sit down and shut up while she unloads on you. And if men don't know things like that, it's a real surprise to them, especially if they don't have that 35 woman notch count prior to that woman. They don't know how women work. It's going to be a real shock, a real shock. You're going to get emasculated. She's going to castrate the shit out of you on a regular basis without even realizing it. And you're going to take things personally. That is why you have to know yourself, be so confident in yourself, and be able to lead decisively, and not like, you know, if someone ever said to you, you know, if someone said to me, like a woman would say something like, "Yeah, but you know, you don't have a full head of hair. What the hell are you talking about with that receding hairline," or whatever. I'd be like, "Oh, shut the hell up, woman." As soon as I get home, I'm looking in the mirror, like, "Gee, am I?" You know what I mean? Like, am
I doing all right?
They will plant those seeds of doubt in you that you have to be so firm in who you are, what you do, what you believe, how you talk. If you don't have that experience, it's like a guy in judo going against a guy in karate, and then you get punched in the face, and you're like, "Wait a minute. I never learned how to punch. I only learned how to throw people." Oh, okay. You know, it's a different game. Women are a different game than other men.
That's right.
And women living with a woman and having a woman in your life is different than picking up a woman in a bar. It's different. There's a whole different thing going on. And you will at times think you are going out of your fucking head and doubt yourself and doubt the decisions that you make if you invite a woman into your life intimately. That's why you have to have your shit together before you bring a female into your life.
Well said, man. Yeah, picking up girls at a bar, that's checkers. Being a woman in your life.
Totally.
Real George.
Yeah.
Real shit.
All right, let's get back to the phone lines. Big thanks goes out to Rob Cruz with the $20 super chat. George the Sultan. We also call him in these parts George the Sage. Bruno.
George.
Area code 520. You are on live with the Red Line. Go ahead.
Hey, Don, I'm glad to go ahead and stay on.
Dude, Blog Talk Radio is acting up, man. Oh. Weird. All right, well, call back area code, whoever that was. Area code 217. You're on live with Donovan. Go ahead.
Gentlemen, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, fellas. Steve, George, Donovan, it's a privilege to talk to you guys. I appreciate what you guys do. I'm going to make a couple quick points building up to my question, all right? So, Steve, man, you, I love the way you tell it. We are not victims. Can't echo that enough.
Yeah, me.
As men, just own your choices, fellas. You know, it's okay if you made some bad ones. Make better ones. It's about building better men and just using the knowledge we have to be and build better men. So leading into saying all that, you guys would agree with what I'm saying there, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I hope so. So what do you guys say? What is the position amongst you gentlemen here where we're running into the issue, it seems to me, that single mothers, certainly, and now it seems like we have to count celebrities almost like single mothers.
Yep.
Essentially, that they're just building men that women primarily will hate and would never date, but they're happily building these men, quote unquote men, into the world, and getting applause for it. But on the back end, like, how do we get some sense talked back into the world? Like, guys, you guys know these are the same men that are going to grow up and not be there to take care of our daughters, right, when they grow up. So,
George,
you
what
guys,
are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I texted. I have 3 kids, 23, 20, and 16. My daughter's 23. I got a son 20 and a son 16. I texted my 20-year-old son, and he's looking at getting another car. He crashed his car, and I said, "Okay, tell me what you're looking at," because he's certainly not getting any help from his mom. So I would help him buy a car, not from a dealership, because I know a little something about vehicles, and I can probably get him a good deal at an auto auction or something.
Oh,
but I said,
old mines, by the way.
Yeah, and I've gotten 2 cars from auctions, and they've just been fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I said to my son, "I go, do you have a toolbox and tools?" And he says, "Well, I have a couple tools in my drawer." And I said, No. Do you have a toolbox? And by the time I was 20 years old, I had a toolbox with every kind of tool and socket wrenches and just every possible thing that you can imagine. I could fix a car. I could build things. I had saws. I had some power tools at 20 years old. When I was a young man, actually, probably 17, I started collecting tools. And my son doesn't know that. Now, my son is the son of a strong, independent woman. I guess she wasn't that strong and independent because my son can't change a friggin' tire on a car. By the time I was 16 or 17 years old, my father used to say to me, where are you going? I go, well, I'm going out to play ball. He says, no, you're not. We're changing the brakes today. I'm like, Dad! And he goes, we get work done around the house. We work before we play. So he would crank the car up, on a jack, take the wheel off, and I would be sitting there on the ground next to him, and he'd say, all right, now these are calipers. This is a piston. And he would say, all right, I need a wrench. I need this, and I'd hand him the tools, whatever. And he taught me, how to change brakes on a car, how to bleed the brake lines, things like that. Stuff that a single mom, a strong, independent woman, is not going to teach her son how to do. So the car breaks down on the darn highway. The young man does not feel empowered that he can do anything. What's he want to do? Call AAA? He wants to call a tow truck, call whoever, but he doesn't feel empowered to fix the car on his own. The strong, independent woman is not going to teach him that. What can we do for the young men in our lives, or the young men that we encounter, young nephews and such? We can teach them how to be men. Take them to the lumberyard with you. Take them to the landscaping supply with you.
Yeah. Yep.
Invite them to go work out with you. Do man shit with them. Go target shooting. Go, my son probably has never had a suit tailored for him. There was a day you'd walk into a department store and there was like a little Italian guy with a tape measure around his neck who'd measure your sleeve length and the length of your trousers and fit you for a suit. I remember that happened many times when I was a young man. And my boys never experienced that because they have strong, independent mothers. We need to take the initiative, even though we fucking hate the fact that they claim to be strong, independent women. We need to take the initiative and invite these young men, sons and nephews, and even a neighbor, to go out with us to the range, to go to the gym, to work on the car with us, to learn how to start a damn fire in a fireplace.
Right.
Just basic man shit. And that's not happening. And I am not going to let the strong, independent female ruin that young man. He needs us. And we need to take the initiative because my son didn't even know that he needed tools.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, what? For real? So I'm already thinking, okay, what am I going to get him for Christmas? I'm going to get him a hammer, a set of crescent wrenches, some screwdrivers, a tape measure, just some basic man shit to go into a toolbox. So that when he does get a car, the toolbox will go in the trunk of the car and he'll always, be able to fix things. And I will invite him to accompany me when I have to patch up some drywall or replace a board on the back deck or something like that. If we don't do that, we are fucked as old men.
Right.
Think about it.
Right. You seem very bothered by the fact that your own son didn't even know that he needed tools, right? Like it's almost like you took that personally. That, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. We also got to look at, he's right about the moms, and as far as the celebrities and stuff like that, the rappers and stuff. But also for a lot of you young men, you got to be careful of the YouTuber as well, because he falls in the same category with some of the things the guy was talking about before. Guys, you have got to learn how to be what is called single-minded. And that means to be able to think for yourselves, to learn from people, but to think from yourselves. But a lot of people, you got to be careful, and you've got to do your homework of who you follow and who you talk to. That's all I'm saying, man. When people remember, women focus on problems. Women blame. Women live in the past. Women make excuses. Women dwell in fear. Women don't take accountability or responsibility for their actions. But you got to be careful about who you follow, because even on the internet, they're the Smiths. In the Bible, Antichrist. However you want to look at it, they come to you as they care about you, but on the other hand, they're trying to declaw you and defang you. So it's very important to be single-minded, to not fall into and take on the story that happened to somebody else, but to create your own.
Well said, man. Both of you. And again, this is why I'm glad you guys are on with this, because Steve, you and I are about the same age. I think you're a few years older than I am, but I think that both of you are uniquely qualified to talk about this particular show topic. Let us go back to the phone lines to area code 404. You're on live with the red line. Go ahead. Area code 404. Going once. Going twice. Oh, okay, dropped out. All right, let's go to area code. I guess he was just, I don't know, a lot of people just call into Blog Talk Radio just to listen to the show from there. So if that's you, no problem. Area code 503, you're on live with the red line. Go ahead.
Yo, what's up, guys? How you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely. What's your question?
Got some serious stuff going on. I got to be kind of discreet, but I just didn't really know who else to reach out to here. I'm getting kind of blasted on Facebook about like the whole consent thing. And I guess there's a bunch of people who are saying that I need to make some kind of response because I'm pretty involved in the music community in my town. And there's this consent guy, and they're super Me Too-y, and they're just talking a bunch of stuff. And I've been losing a lot of friends from it. And I've been thinking about trying to make some kind of public response or something, but some people have been telling me not to do that. What do you guys think? I mean, do you have any advice for me?
Yeah, I've got some advice for you, young man. I always tell guys it's very important that if is it your business, or do you care about a snake eating a mouse in the Amazon? No, it's none of your business. It only bothers you because you're taking on the story. You listen, you're allowed to say what you want to say, but please understand about being a man. It's a very lonely road. You're going to lose a lot of friends because you are going in a different pathway than most people. But what I'm saying to you, before you make a announcement and everything, what you got to ask yourself, is it really your business what the grass-eating lions think? Is it really your business what other people say? Everybody's allowed to have an opinion. It's when you take on the story of the opinion is when you get caught up in things. Sometimes you like, I'm sure George can tell you, and Dom can tell you, and I can tell you, we got people that hate us. They can't stand us. They hate everything about us, and they just hang around just to see if they can get at us or jab us. But that keeps us where we at is that we know ourselves well enough where we block out the noise, and that's part of being a man. And all I want to say to you, young man, and I say to everybody, there was a time when you were young, you blocked out the noise. When you were in kindergarten, drawing pictures and making things about yourself. You listen, there's some good noise and there's some bad noise. But what I'm saying to you before I end, I'm just saying, think about it. Is it really important, or is it just you buying in to other people's emotions? And if that's the case, don't say anything at all. Allow them to be them. Just make it not your business and keep your eyes forward instead of with them.
Okay, excellent. Well said. Let's go to area code 916. 916, you're on with the red line. Go ahead.
Yo, what's up, Donovan?
What's up, man?
What's up? D. Williams? Yeah. And shout out to George, looking like interesting man in the world with his little pipe, man. Look all cool, dude. Yeah, just what's it called? Just want to say that I think MGTOW, I think it's like a prereq to Red Pill. So Red Pill would be like the lab now applying the formula. I think MGTOW was just the research and like a mini monk mode, so you could like apply it later on. But so a lot of people don't graduate to Red Pill if they still complaining and like not having themselves as
there you go.
What's it called? Like their center point.
There.
So just want to say that.
Okay.
Just shout out to you guys. You guys helping me out. I'm still on my Red Pill journey, and we like gonna carry this onto the future and wake up as many soldiers out here, leaving no brother behind, and we're gonna keep it going, guys.
All right, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the call, area code 916. Let me just interject here, I guess, just to put a bow on this whole MGTOW conversation. So again, to me, it's really just a label. And Steve always, you can just see like his hair, like the little hair he has on, you can see it bristle.
I can grow my hair, Donovan, but go ahead. Yeah.
Good. Check this out. There is a group, okay? There is a group of people who call themselves MGTOWs that are not really whatever they say they are. They are, number one, they are lazy. Number two, they have little to no sexual experience. Number three, they think they are owed sex because they're men. Number four, they check out of the sexual marketplace because they think it should be easy. Number five, they make excuses before having tried to be successful with women. Number six, they only want to complain but not interested in solutions. Number seven, they talk about going overseas but are not in the process of doing so, nor do they plan to. Number eight, they think women are bad but don't know that they're not. Number nine, they want the cheat code. They're lazy. The 10th group is the you still don't understand guy. No matter what you say about the quote unquote MGTOW, you still don't get it, right? Number 11, you talk shit about men like myself and George and Steve, right? Simply because we have had success with women. And by the way, women, it's never been easy. It never was, right? Like we may make it look easy, but sluts see players and think that we just wake up and just get out of bed and start fucking people. No. They think getting laid for they think that getting laid for guys is as easy as it is for them. This is why girls hate players. Same with these bottom dwellers. They think it's easy for guys like you and me because it's not easy for them. They hate on us. Anyway, these are the real, and I don't call them incels. I call them volcels because there's really no such thing as an incel. The only incels are people who are mentally retarded. If you have $200 and a boner, you know you can volunteer. You're not an involuntary celibate. Yeah, but I want to spend my money on something that's worth it. Well, then you can continue to complain. Okay. I call these people scabs, right? These are the people, and somebody came up with this when I was in Orlando, incidentally enough. Scared, crying, angry babies. This is what these people are. These are the men who call themselves MGTOWs that aren't really MGTOWs. Take away women's rights to vote. That's never going to happen, right? They talk about solutions that are impossible. I'm going to move overseas. Really? You have your passport, right? Well, being good with women is just too hard. What, do you think she's just going to lift up her skirt if you walk up and say hello? So there are a lot of men out there who call themselves MGTOWs and red pill guys. They're not really MGTOWs, okay? They're not really red pill guys. All they're interested in doing is complaining and nothing else. So I wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way. And if you're you still don't get it guy, then you, my friend, are a scab. Let's go to the next caller here. Let's go to area code 919. 919, you're on live with the Red Line, and you go ahead.
Sup, Donovan? I just want to make this shit clear. Why do bitches think that you men should just be Captain Save a Home? Because I just had a bitch from before just try to put pregnancy on me. She got gang banged by a couple Crips. And I was just a friend. She put me in the friend zone. I didn't know she was like that, but hey, what can you do?
So she got banged up. Well, hold up. So she got banged up by a couple of trying to put the paternity down on you?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, wait, well, hold on. I didn't even fuck you, but you want me to come in and help take care of it. But I'm an electrician, all right? I'm doing very well for myself. You could have picked me when you had the chance, but you didn't.
What
the fuck? All right, you know these bitches ain't shit. I'm sorry. I don't believe women are good people. I just don't. All right. I'm doing well for myself. I got my own house. I'm doing fine. Ain't no issues.
I've been arguing with you, bro.
If that's the case, you say these bitches ain't shit like you say. And what does it make you for even being around a nobody bitch like her then?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, caller. What did you do or say that made her think that you were about to be this baby's father? Like, what happened there?
Okay, to be honest with you, trying to do some beta. I was trying to be, how you say, I was trying to perceive that I was a beta male provider until she came and wanted to fuck me and then just leave.
You know what, caller? After this show is over, I'm going to do a show on why we love guys who are indirect. I love you guys. I love that dude, man. I love him.
He said, why? And thanks for the call. He said, why do these bitches think we want to be Captain Save a Ho? Well, he told us, because you acted like you wanted to be a Captain Save a Ho. But listen, I love that dude. He went in.
That's
crazy. Let's go to area code 682. Area code 682 are on live with the Red Line. And you go ahead.
Hey, y'all. Good evening, fellas. Always a pleasure. Don, I've been watching you for a couple of years now. Glad to see the growth and glad the show is doing great. Also, those camera transitions are incredible.
Thank you.
Aside from that, I want to say something in particular to Steve. He's got my feathers rustled, per se. There's a select few of us out here who are quite deep intellectuals who have been through the sexual market, who have had the ups and downs of the roller coaster lifestyle that capitalism brings in America, and have decided and accepted the fact and the true nature of women, and have come to the conclusion that no matter what you deal with in a woman, there will be some level of insanity. And along that same notion of thought, there is an insanity or a certain level of insanity that one must accept when he decides to deal with women, and some of us just don't want to do that.
Okay.
I'm a man who.
Whoa. Okay, can I reply back to that? Can I reply back to that? You're lying to yourself, because let me tell you something. I don't know where you come from, but where I come from as a man, I don't deal with insanity. Hey, just because she's insane and crazy to you doesn't mean she's gonna be that way to me. And unlike you, I have standards, laws, rules, codes, narratives, and principles that you don't have. Unlike you, I can walk up to any woman, anytime, any place, and spit game and what you may call yak or approaching without fear, without worrying, without emotion. So I just want to.
I'm a grown man, and I don't feel the need to play games.
You a grown man, but wait, but you all in your feelings.
I wanted to say something wrong. Why?
You're not gonna come at me. Wait, hold on, sir. Wait, sir.
Yeah, I muted him.
Okay, now let me just say this, man. I'm gonna let you talk, but you ain't gonna come in here like no woman, bitching like a victim and bringing my name up and don't think I'm gonna check you as a man. You got me bent. Now you can say what you want, but you gonna really understand that if you say something and you put my name in it, I'm gonna say something back. Now you have the floor, sir.
All right, go ahead, caller.
We'll talk about controlling emotions later. I want to say something.
It's already. Hold on. It's all emotion. All right, dog. You can say I'm emotional is all I want, but put me in front of any woman you want versus you. You ain't even gonna fucking touch me.
It's not a competition. It's not a competition.
You ain't in my competition. Wait.
Most beautiful woman in the world. I'm not looking to have sex or catch any more STDs or American. You're cool with that? That's perfectly fine.
Sir, I'm gonna tell you why it's not a competition.
My penis burning when I go to the toilet to go pee.
Calm down.
You want, but I'm trying to.
No, I'm gonna let you give me a second. I'm gonna let you talk, motherfucker. Calm down. The reason it's not a competition is because you ain't on my level. I don't. If you've known me for 25 years, I've been doing this for over 25 years. You have never heard me say all the cupcake ass shit you saying. I'm a poor victim, and we have our ups and downs, and we're not this and we're not that. You don't ever hear me say that. And if you can go back all the way to my whip show,
it's not a competition for me.
Right,
I don't look to seek the validation of another man telling me I'm a man because of how many women I can have sex with. That's not important to me right now. I don't care how many women you can have sex with or walk up to. Congratulations. That's irrelevant to my fact. The point that some of us watch Donovan's content is the same reason that Christians go to church. It's to
Okay, he's going to filibuster.
Christians go to church.
It doesn't matter. Listen, to be honest with you, here's the thing, Steve. I agreed with what some of he was saying. There are a lot of men who check out of the dating market who never checked in the first place.
Right.
According to him, he's a man who said, "Listen, a lot of men say the juice isn't worth the squeeze, but they've never had the juice, right?" Well, according to him, he's like, "Listen, I've had the juice; it's not worth the squeeze, so I'm checking out of the dating market."
But Donovan, you're right. But here's the $1 million question: If you ever pay attention to the man mindset, we tell you this ain't about women because they're a perk.
Right.
So everything you're talking about is a perk. What is a
whole decision to check out of the sexual marketplace is based purely on women.
Right. So what he's saying is listen, I don't care your sob stories. The problem is for a lot of you cupcakes out there is you don't want the honest truth. You want me to coddle you and give you chicken soup. I'm sorry, this is not me. I will never do you a disservice of making you feel good. I don't do that.
Steve, I thought this was chicken soup for the soul, Steve.
That's what I guess, Donovan. Maybe we have a cuddle party. Let's have a men's cuddle party.
George, what are your thoughts? Let me get George's thoughts on this.
I'm sorry.
Because that's okay. A lot of guys, there are two types of men who say, "I'm done with women." Most of them are the kinds of men who have never had success with women, but a very few say, I don't want anything to do. I cannot think, and I don't know, maybe I'm sort of problem here. I've never talked to a man who has had even a modicum of success with women, even on a day-to-day one-night stand basis, and said, you know what, I'm just not going to pursue them anymore. And I don't listen. Maybe that caller is saying, "Listen, I'm not going to pursue them. I'm only going to pursue them sexually.
Okay.
I'm not going to not pursue." What are your thoughts on men who say, "I'm done with women. I'm out of here," but they've never really had success with women?
I think those men have never done the work.
Ooh,
thank you.
I mean, that's, I go out with, I like going out to bars that have live music, and I will go with some guy friends, and it's nonstop women for me, nonstop. I know where to stand in a bar. I know how to talk. I know how to approach. I know how to be approached, and it's just not work for me. And they look at me and like, why you? Why are you getting approached all night? And the reality is, even at my age, like, I grew up in an era where we didn't call it game. It wasn't called game.
Right.
It was here's an example. I'm in a bar with a friend, women walking by me, eyeing me. All right. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. And when I feel good, I know I exude that to women. If I don't feel good about myself, then, women are going to pick up on that. And my friend kept saying, "What is it? Just like one after another is approaching you."
Right.
One woman comes up and says, "Can I hug you?" I'm like, "Why?"
Wow,
She says,
Lord, you got all lose. I ain't never had no bitch come up and ask to hug me. Man.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. And, and I said to my friend, I said, it's just my inner confidence. It really is. I mean, there's men that are better spoken than me. There's men that are much more handsome than me.
I don't know about that, George.
And I will tell you that I never, ever, ever am disappointed when I go out. I've never had a disappointing night ever in my life. Never. And it's from my attitude. I walk in with a winning attitude and I walk out with a winning attitude. And women pick up on that. They pick up on, do you ever see people talk about like dogs, like you're walking your dog or you're walking through a park and someone has a dog and the other dog growls at you and the person says, "Don't show that you're scared," because they can sense that.
Right.
You ever hear people say that? Like a dog knows if you're scared. And in the same way, and I'm not comparing women to dogs, but women can pick up on it if a guy is confident or not. So I always tell guys, if you're not confident, then take acting lessons and act confident. Because a man who actually is genuinely confident and a man who is acting confident, I can't tell the difference between the two. They both look the same. They both act the same. And they end up with the same results. I just feel that you have to have your inner game together before your outer game even starts to come together at all.
There we go.
My brother and I, we are just blown away when we found out there's guys that are teaching other guys how to have game. Like we're scratching our heads going, really? I mean, my brother Tony is he's just a lean, mean chick magnet machine. Yep. I mean, he's a confident guy and women love that. And here's the weird thing. Tony is a short dude. I'm the tall guy in my family. He's a short guy.
He is.
Don't tell him that he's a short guy. He acts like he's 6'3".
Oh my God, yeah.
All right. Even though he's, I don't know, what is he, 5'7" or something like that? Okay. Do not tell him that he's 5'7", because he won't even believe it. He has confidence that women love, absolutely love. And here we are. He and I both were in our 50s. We're both single. We're both divorced. Zero issues, zero social issues, none whatsoever. both have our choices, like a salad bar, whatever we want. And when you're older, you don't take advantage of the whole salad bar. I love the company of one woman. I no longer want the company of multiple women. That's just not my thing anymore.
Right.
When it comes to spinning plates and so forth, there was a time when I had, when I always had women in my so-called rotation. Now my plates are my books, my studying, my truck, my writing, and one woman.
Yeah.
And I'm happy. If I can't spend time with my woman, I'm not dialing for dollars and looking for another woman. I just say, oh, cool. I get to read a book tonight. I get to relax. I get to like pick a movie on Amazon or Netflix and enjoy it by myself. I'm
telling you, George,
that's how I view it.
I think a lot of guys, man, and I think this comes with age, but I got to tell you, dude, like all those crazy nights I spent in Vegas, and now just to be able to stay in on a Friday night, just to kick back with a whiskey sour, listen, I don't care what she's doing, just to relax and just put my brain in a cooler, man. I'm telling you, that absolutely has tremendous value. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. If you want to finish your thought.
Yeah, I like to say that, there's power in knowing that you can, but don't. Here I am. It's on a Friday night. It's still a work night for me. I got to cut hair first thing tomorrow morning. But the trippy thing is that I did have some invites to go out tonight to a couple bars where there's some bands playing, and I always have nonstop invites to go out. But man, I chose to stay home. I'm watching a movie on Amazon before I came online with you guys. I'll watch the end of it when I get off. And, I got a pizza going on. I got my adult beverage, and I'm having a blast. So people will say to me, hey, so what'd you do last night? I'll say I stayed home and watched a movie and had a couple slices of pizza. And they're going to be like, that's all you did? I'm like, yeah. I mean, I talk about that like it's, like I went to, a great party, because there are times where I just enjoy the solitude and being by myself. And there's a time to party. Believe me, I love going out. I love being around people. But I also love my own time, my alone time. And people respect that. They're starting to, believe it or not, rather than thinking I'm strange or antisocial, they're starting to see the wisdom. My friends are thinking, man, he's really onto something with that whole, spending a night with himself, just by himself, watching a movie, chilling out.
Seconds.
It maintains your sanity.
I agree 100%. Going back to what this area code 682 guys, something just dawned on me, and I think I answered my own question. I was sort of asking it out loud. I have never heard of a man who has ever had even a modicum of success with women, even on the most basic sexual level, completely check out of the dating market.
That's
never, let's not even call it the dating market. Let's just call it women. If any man, let's just say a man has only had sex with 5 women in his entire life, that guy will never, ever say, I'm never messing with women. I'm not sticking my dick in another woman again. You want to know why?
10 seconds.
Any man who says, I will never stick my dick in another woman again has never stuck his dick in a woman, man. Like, here's the thing, man. The creator, the physical purpose of life is procreation. This is why the creator, whoever he is, right? This is why he made sex so enticing for men, right? So when a man says, I am swearing off sex from women, that to me is a man who has never had sex with women. So I don't buy for 1 second that this area, because he was using a lot of hyperbole. Well, I don't want to stick my dick in getting my dick burnt. Really? How would you know? Right?
Well,
how would you know? And somebody said it in the chat. People stand behind this, just like you said, Steve, other people's stories.
Yes.
And call themselves MGTOWs as an excuse. Well, women are this and women are that. That to me, that's just a cloak. and
Right.
saying, I'm afraid and I'm lazy. I'm afraid of women and I'm afraid to do the work. So I'm going to say I've been there, done that, and I don't want to do it anymore.
You know, Donovan, I just want to say, and I'm gonna use what George is saying that a lot of guys don't understand. George and I think you too, Donovan, I think you're on the cusp of it, but we come from a time before the internet, you know what I mean? And we come from a time where you had to be a man and go, not be a man, but have the balls to go up to women and talk to them. But what a lot of people don't understand about George's level and the level that George and I are on, and you are on the same level too, because you know you bad yourself. What a lot of guys can't understand, and George is smooth with it, but I'm aggressive with it. But George and I on the same street is that women come to us, and I don't think people understand that extra level where we don't do anything. We don't have to. That's why George says he's sitting back with the pizza in the oven, because he doesn't have to do anything. They will come to us because of who George is as a man. If you peel back the layers of a man like George, what you will see that women see is a deeper man that doesn't make it about sex, doesn't make it about sleeping with her and a one-night stand and all that other stuff. And for that, and unfortunately for that guy, what he hears from me is he thinks that I'm the enemy and I'm the bad guy for being what I am. But I am only what I am, and I don't need to explain what I am. Is that if you want to get on my level, instead of griping, you want to learn and soak up information, Donovan.
Somebody in the chat just says women are not that important. Yeah, no shit. I think that's what this is all about, right? But the reason why we have these discussions is because the reason most of us found this community is because of women. I don't think that can be denied. We're going to take 3 more calls, and then we're going to call it a night here. Let's go to area code 410. 410, you are on live with Donovan, and you go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, gentlemen? I just want to say I appreciate what all you guys do. I'm a real big fan. I just have a quick question.
Sure.
Is it a beta characteristic / blue pill characteristic if I tell a woman I love her?
Hold on. Let me give you an answer. Okay. Never, ever, ever tell a woman you love her first. You make sure she tells you she loves you first. Okay. Now, here's another thing. Never tell a woman you love her if you don't love her. So now let me ask you a question. Why are you asking us this question?
The reason why I'm asking you guys this question, because I come to you 3 for a lot of wisdom. And, you know, I'm 24. And, you know, my friend and I, we have these conversations all the time. And I respect all 3 of your opinions.
Wow.
So, you know, I just want to learn from the OGs, because y'all been doing this way before I was born.
Wow.
I just want to get your opinions on it.
Wow. Wow. You know what? Young man Boyd needs to listen to this. See that? See how you come with respect and you get respect? See that? It's simple, Boyd. But young man, listen, like Donovan hit it on the head. It's not about telling you love her and all that other stuff. But I asked you the question, or because I had a client to ask me today, a woman's like, I love you, but why don't you tell me you love me? Is that your situation? Or is it that you love her and you want to tell her first? What is your situation about the love thing? Because there's got to be something to it. Is it she saying she loves you and waiting for you to respond back? Or do you want to tell her first? Which one is it, sir?
Oh, no, I'm a single man. I don't really believe, I don't believe in relationships at all because of what I've seen my father go through. I know for myself, I don't want that life for myself. But I'm not a one.
Okay.
Not a man. Absolutely not.
Okay, before I toss to George, then you're asked. Well, then this is something important that you've got to do, young man. Always ask questions that will help you be a better man, and don't ask generic questions that have nothing to do with you. That's all I want to say. George, you got the floor, sir.
Yeah, I think I asked the question: is it better to be committed to somebody or to love somebody? I say it's better to be committed. Most people want to hear I love you, when what they're really looking for is I'm committed to you. And while we are together, you will get 100% of what I have to offer. Love is something that after you've been together for many years and you're with the old girl, you know what I mean? And she's with the old man, and you guys are just like on the couch and you're watching TV and you just glance at her while she's watching TV, or she's, walking back to the kitchen with the plates and the trays or whatever, and you might just think to yourself in your head, man, I really do love her, you know. But that's only after many years of being together and being committed to one another. If you start throwing around the L word, the love word, too quick in a relationship, then I think what happens is you're comparing yourself to people who've been together for 5, 10, 20 years. I truly don't believe that we can love somebody really quick. Love is more about commitment when you're young. So I think commitment is where the joy is. Not there's not joy in love, there's joy in commitment.
I would also add this, George. I had never thought of it that way, but here's what a lot of people, this is men and women, don't really understand. There are a few feelings that are stronger than love that make you think that you're in love, right? Infatuation is one of them. Lust is another. Like, you start having sex with a girl, you love the way she makes you feel, you like how you have sex, you guys have a great time together, you think, oh, I'm in love. No, you're just infatuated. When you love someone, like when you truly love someone, love to me, that's not really a very strong feeling at all. And I think that it's because, just like what you said, I think it's because it takes so much time to actually love someone. You don't really fall in love with someone. You gradually love them, right? Like, you go through your infatuation period, you go through the honeymoon phase. But just like you said, George, and I agree with this 100%, you can't truly love someone unless you really know them. And you can't really know them if you haven't been with them for at least 2 years. And I think a lot of people can only describe these feelings of lust and infatuation. They can only describe them in one way, and they call it love, and they think it's love, and that's not what it is. Love is, just like you said, love is a commitment. It is a prolonged commitment, and I think it's a constant action.
Right, and that's why I always tell guys, you can love her body, love her curves, love her lips, and all the other stuff, but love yourself that much more, because the love that you should always have is for yourself first. And once you have that self-love, again, I'm not in the love business. I'm in the fall into respect business first, but y'all got to learn to keep your emotions out this game until she's worthy of them.
Not always easy to do, man. And again, this is where the 35 and 35 play. At 35, you're a little bit more emotionally secure. You're a little bit more emotionally mature. If you've slept with 35 women, you now have learned to separate your feelings from sexual acts. The younger you are, the more you feel. This is for men. The more you feel during, like, if you have the younger you are, the more your feelings get attached to sex. Dude, I'm 42 years old, man, right? When I have sex, there are no feelings involved. For me, it is just about the act. And it has nothing to do with my age and everything to do with my experience. If I were a 42-year-old virgin or a 40-year-old virgin, yeah, my feelings would be tied up into that because I will not have had that much experience. The more women you sleep with, the better you become at severing, love or feelings from lust. The minute you can figure that out and separate the two, you'll be unstoppable. We have one last phone call. Let's go to area code 269. Area code 269, you're on live with the Red Line. Go ahead.
How you doing, Dom? Can you hear me?
Good. Yes, sir.
All right. So I had a problem a while back ago that almost landed me in jail. It involved an ex-girlfriend of mine from high school.
Oof.
She had pretty much broke up with me before she left for college, simply because I would not follow the hood slang, call a bay and all that shit, do all of the vines and
Hold
shit.
on, let me stop you right there, caller.
But
no, hold on, caller, real quick. She didn't break up with you because of that. No, she broke up with you before she went to college. She broke up with you so that she could sport fuck her way around campus. The reason she gave you was that you weren't using the proper terminology. But please continue.
Yeah. So about 2 years ago, she pops back up with 3 kids.
Oh.
And she tells me at least one of them are mine.
Oh, bitch, please. Oh, please.
Yeah.
Get up out of here with that. So what problem so what's the problem?
The problem with it was I spent 6 months in jail because I refused to essentially take care of her in the state I live in.
So you are the father.
Right now, she's just
hold on,
been harassing
hold on,
me.
caller. Hold on, caller. I'm having a disconnect here, right? So you said that she showed up with 3 kids, and you told us that she said that one of them was yours. Now, the way you said it was in such a way that led me to believe that the kid wasn't yours. But then you've just spent time in jail for not taking care of the kids. So now I ask you, do you have a kid or kids with this girl?
No. That the state has a dad by default bullshit.
So you
It
signed
took me
the
a
birth
year
certificate
to fight it off, but I spent 6 months in jail while I'm fighting it. And I finally won, but as of now, she's trying to ruin my career, and I cannot get a restraining order on this woman.
You're not telling us the truth.
Yeah,
bro.
he's not giving us.
You're not. You want me to tell you why you're not telling us the truth? Because we listen, and let me tell you why you're lying. You're not telling us why you ran back to her after she broke up with you because you needed her back, and why you kept messaging her while she was in college, and when she came back, why you accepted her back into your life, and why you had a relationship with her, and why you probably moved her in your house. Why don't you tell us the whole truth and stop trying to make yourself look like the victim, man? Why do y'all do this? Why don't you tell the truth?
So 269. Let's try this again. Only this time I'm going to ask the questions. Were you ever in a relationship with this woman after she went to college?
No.
Okay. Are you the biological father of one of her children?
No.
Then why did you go to jail for not taking care of said kids?
Because she did not put the father's name on the birth certificate.
Okay,
She
so
tried to put
hold
mine
on. So if she didn't put the father's name on the birth certificate, whose name did she put on the birth certificate?
She put mine.
Okay, she put yours. You can't just put anybody's name on a birth certificate and say he's the daddy. So here's another question. Did you sign the birth certificate in person, yes or no?
No.
Okay, he's lying. I gotta No. He's wasting our time.
Because a woman just doesn't come. Wait, let me guess. She went away for 2 years. She went away for 4 years of college, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden she's pregnant with his kid.
Yeah, that to me, that was just that was a bunch of bull jive. There were some things that he wasn't telling us.
Right, he's lying.
Listen, I could be wrong, but I think he was in a relationship with her, and I think that kid was his. But for him to tell us that he served time in jail for not taking care of a kid that his name was on the birth certificate that he himself did not. If that were the case, then women would put, well, hell, I just had a kid. Denzel Washington's my baby daddy. Idris Elba's my baby daddy. George Clooney. Get out of here with that. Give me
I think he in love with her, and I think he wanted her back, and I think he's the one that tried to force the birth certificate. You can tell how people talk, what their story is, man.
Oh, of course. Well, not only that, you just put 2 and 2 together. Big thanks. Big sorry goes out to Heathen Deluxe. He said, I really wanted to hear the rest of that tall tale. I did not. Final thoughts, guys. George.
Paternity test, man. Where was that?
I know.
I mean, a simple blood test will confirm or deny anything. So,
yeah.
But
I think that here's what I think happened. I think that she came back with 3 kids. He is not the biological father of any of those kids, but she tricked him into signing his name. She told him that you're the baby daddy, and his dumbass went to the hospital or wherever you do that, because I don't have any kids, and he signed his name on that birth certificate. So I think that's what it was. He wasn't telling us.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Steve, your final thoughts on today's episode, my friend.
Well, yeah, great episode. I think with the caller, I think he tried to scare some people with some of that, I guess y'all call that blue pill logic stuff where, oh, watch out, you get pregnant by you meet a girl, she'll scare. I don't know, it was a scare tactic, I think.
Maybe.
But I want to say for the guys out there to just, I want to, we didn't get on the trick part about tricking a woman. like you were saying, I mean, because we love the calls and stuff.
Oh yeah, man, dude.
And we guess we do it some other time, but guys, just always remember at the end of the day that these women know the game better than the majority of you guys. They're great chess players. They know how to play you for what they want. Until you start drawing a line in the sand and stop putting your emotions, stop being emotionally invested in a complete stranger. And it's Donovan, I don't know, you're a nerd like geek like me, Donovan. I call them Kryptonians because it's like if instead of being Batman, instead of being Superman, you want to be more like Batman, because what these guys do is they give power to these women instead of being the man that can go be a man through every phase of his life. Stop giving the power to the women, guys. You're the reason why these women feel, well, not say you guys, y'all listen. There are a lot of people out there that don't, but we appreciate you all, man.
Absolutely. George, your closing thoughts on investing versus spending to try to buy a woman's affection.
Invest in what you own. Don't remodel a rental property.
You know what they say: if it flies, floats, or flux, do not buy. Only rent.
Right.
Please.
Right.
Absolutely. Oh, George. That is going to do it for this edition of the Red Line. I got one other super chat to get to quickly.
All right.
Barry's voice with a $20 super chat. He says, first, oh boy, it's been a while since I've been to church. 1 Corinthians 13 verses, I think 4 and 5. He says, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. You know, I appreciate the super chat, Barry, but you know, I've gone through sort of a transition in my life religiously. There, you know, nowadays, that makes sense, I suppose, in a blue pill world.
Yeah.
But love is not patient.
No, it's not.
Love is definitely not kind.
No, it's not.
Don't get me wrong. I love me some Devin, but make no mistake about it. If she gets out of pocket, I'm not going to be kind about it, and I'm not going to be patient about it.
Yeah, buddy. That's
I am absolutely proud of who I am, and I'm proud of who I built her to become. And for me, love is absolutely self-seeking, because I'm gonna be self-seeking here in about a half an hour, if you guys know what I mean. It's not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Obviously, women keep record of, and again, I understand I understand where he's going. I think what he means to say when he has that verse is love is not what we think it is, right? Love is not love is not infatuation. It's not lust. Love has nothing to do with your desire to stick your cock in another woman in a woman's vagina. That's all there is to it.
Donovan, can I say something real quick? God, I appreciate your Corinthians 101, but let me give you man mindset 204. See the big picture, set your vision, set direction, think critically, send clear, concise messages, think with transparency, get focus on results, drive results, get things done, act decisively, have high standards, take risks, and be fearless. And then you'll get all the love that you want while you got a pizza in the oven, while you're smoking a pipe, with your nice white beard with a nice essence light to the far right of you. Yeah, I mean, George, talk to him, George.
To quote Saint Tina Turner, what's love got to do with it? You know, what's love got to do with it?
I knew exactly where he was going with that.
Yeah.
George, thank you very much for taking time out of your Friday night to do this show with us. It is always a pleasure to talk with you.
White chocolate.
We can do this at some point soon.
Yes.
Good to be with you guys.
Thank you. That is going to do it for this edition of the Red Line. As Barry's voice redeems himself with a $5 super chat. Said 300 wives and 700 concubines. Boy.
There you go. Good one, Barry. Yes, Barry.
We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, Barry.
Holy smokes.